And hello again, everyone. I hope you're doing well today. I know it's been the weekend since I've talked to you last. Hope that you had a great weekend, restful. I've been out there every day trying to get my walk on. So I've been averaging about 4 or 5 miles a day. Awesome. Just great uphills, heart healthy, and keeping distance. Just because we have physical distance doesn't mean we're going to be socially distant. I saw a post on Facebook where somebody was saying how grateful rather he was that as he walks by people, people wave at him, and and that struck me because that's even in a time when we have to be physically distant from people, and we shouldn't be shaking hands. We shouldn't be giving hugs like we once did, and we don't have to get to his point. We can be kind and great humans to one another, and just see one another from afar, from across the road, and be happy to see one another and wish each other well. So, yeah, that's been happening to me the last couple of days. Walking by people, seeing people, just waving. Waving and keeping it moving. Genuinely happy to see them out there getting it on and them doing what they need to do. So yeah. And same for you all. Glad you're back. Grateful that you all are here to hear this. So I want to get to a couple of points very quickly. I want to respect your time. I want to hit on our revolutionary message first before we get to our stronger together connection points. So, finishing up our revolutionary learners, I want to talk about revolutionary learners being collaborators. So, one thing that I'm going to that I've been saying a lot recently is that we're not going to go back to the way things were. This whole crisis, and I've been my recent blog posts have been about opportunity from the crisis. So, one of the things we're going to draw back from this with our positive mindset is that once people have dove into um, that learning can happen at a high level and kids not be directly in front of me, and that if we think differently about the resources that are available to us, we can still have kids engaged in some high level learning. Of course, we want our learners in front of us. Of course, that connection is important. Of course, this distance is mandated and not ideal. But we can see things can be different, and we can embrace that in this difference, there's some good, there's some awesome things that can occur. So, one of the things that we're not going to go back to, one of the things that I think as more people experience is that it doesn't have to be that the resources can be different, that the learning can be different, and we can elevate our expectations in all of it. So one of those things is collaboration. Is how we require and think about our learners as collaborators. So typically in the classroom, when we say work with a friend or work with your teammate, that's somebody that you can sit side by side with, or that's somebody that or somebody's that you can sit at a table and do some talking and planning that way. The opportunity from this crisis here is that we can have high level planning without our learners being in the same room. We can. Think about us right now. Most of us are getting our instructions or getting our work communication like this, virtually, digitally, or by phone. However, but it's not face to face. We can give students not just projects for them to do by themselves, but some high level projects to collaborate on with their teammates in the same vein. You know, we give them the goal of what we want them to do, and then give them the tool. Then make some suggestions for some tools, and then we embrace our revolutionary role as a coach. And today, because that's a new role for us. That's another piece that we're drawing from in this crisis is seeing our role shift from direct instruction to coach. We've talked about this for a long time, sage on the sage, kind of all that blah, all that kind of stuff. I shouldn't say that because that's real. We've been preaching against the sage on the stage for 20, 30 years now. But this is really helping. But this opportunity is helping us embrace and see that that sage is, we don't have to be that sage, or kids and parents don't need us to be that sage. They need direction. They need a coach. They need a facilitator. They need a designer. That's what we embrace. That's the revolutionary piece that we embrace and get into. So in our instructional design phase, as our role as a coach, let's design projects and learning experiences for our learners that they have to collaborate on, and have high expectations for collaboration, for digital collaboration, and then have high levels of expectations for the products that they produce and what they put together. Have high levels of expectations for how they research and the information that they seek out, and then high levels of expectations for how they put it together. Then high levels of expectations for how they present it and communicate their learning to you. When all those high levels of expectations come together and we start seeing, hey, I know how I've done it. It doesn't always have it, but I can make it different, and make it different for the learners. Then we'll see that there was really great opportunity in this crisis, and that's what we'll embrace, and that's what's going to be good. So all that comes from the mindset that we bring into it. We can look at it like, hey, woe is me, this is a horrible situation, or it truly is what it is, and we're here, and let's move forward with a smile. We get great things when we sweat and work at it. There's power in sweat and work, and when we embrace it, great things happen. So, what I'm saying, what I believe in is, you're not in it by yourself. You may have questions about how to get it done, but bring your questions to us. Bring your questions to your professional learning network. These people that I'm connecting you with, that have made a difference to me and that I'm sharing with you, reach out to them. Reach out to me and Darren. We're glad to help. That's where it is. So looking at a different level for our kids to collaborate, and seeing how that could be different even in this circumstance, and then embracing a new role for us by bringing a different mindset to it. There's power in that. Okay, so I hope that meant something to you. Again, reach out to me if you like that, if that resonated with you. There's opportunity in this crisis, and that's what we're gonna draw from. Alrighty, so the connections that I want to share out today there are actually two organizations. The first organization, this one's for my 612 assistant principals and principals out there. This is a group that's near and dear to me. That's the National Association of Secondary School Principals, NASSP. They're very dear to me. They do a lot of great networking. They host next level events. They think differently. They advocate for us. In politics and government, that kind of stuff. But beyond all that critical thing, and there's critical, much love to Joan, but beyond those critical pieces, they sincerely want every assistant principal and principal out there to be working and achieving and growing at a high level. So shout out to them. If you are a current assistant principal or principal, you know what, K-12, I know that I said it's secondary, but K-12, it doesn't matter. Or if you're an aspiring administrator, this is a group to connect with. So that's NASSP. I said two groups, we're going to do three. Second group is the NAESP. So that's the National Association of Elementary School Principals. and they do this. They do the same thing with. Um, there you find a lot of resources for your K-8 principals. I've worked with both. They all do wonderful things. Um, so if you're a principal, assistant principal, or aspiring, great groups to reach out to get connected with, and they have resources that will help you transform your school and really help you improve you. The better you are, the better you are, the better the learners are. So they're great organizations to connect with. All right, the last group is now this is to my heart. That's AMLE. Any middle school folks out there? Yeah, that's right. So it starts in the middle. Remember that. It starts in the middle. Um, I want to point out that our book, The Revolution, it is a middle school book. Now it started off as a middle school book. We changed some of the things and added some components to make it K-12 relevant, and it is without a doubt. There's something in here for K-12 for every learner and teacher at a K-12 level. Period. But Darren and I are middle school principals, and we were tired of the bum rap that middle school was getting, and how middle school gets the back seat. And if you're like that, AMLE is the group for you. The Association of Mid-Level Educators. They're the group for you. Let's change our thinking about middle school. So much of us have a fear of the hormonal middle schooler that it just puts us in that place, and that's a shame. It's a shame. It really is, because middle school is where revolutionary, ingenious, truly innovative, truly advocacy, student advocacy starts. That's really where it is. We have an unfounded fear of it, when we should embrace it and work on unleashing the potential there. That's something that so many of us don't do. They're hormonal monsters. No, they're not. They're waiting for direction. Give them a powerful direction and they will amaze you. Give them a powerful direction, they'll amaze you. You see middle school stories in the revolution, but we talk about a bigger message. So if you're in this right now, if you're a principal, assistant principal, or aspiring, there's two groups there for you to help you with this right now. They're both doing series to help school administrators and aspiring to manage what's going on right now. If you're a middle school person right now, MLE is a group for you, because there are resources, and and there are people there to connect with to help you get to that level. So today's connections are organizations, and there are three organizations out of a lot of great ones out there. I'm not saying some are better. I'm just telling you the ones that have meant a lot to me and that have helped me a lot over the years. So those are the ones I'm putting out there today. I'm going to put some more out there tomorrow. Thank you for what you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing. We're gonna come through this better and stronger at the end. Things won't be the same, and that's cool, because who wants more of the same? It's time to do different and get different. So let's draw some opportunity from this crisis. All right, be well, be safe, and be blessed. Love you guys. I will see you tomorrow.